Today's December 2nd, 2024, and as of right now, we have 113,000 subscribers, and we're making like $8,500 per month in ad revenue from YouTube. So that's just some context for you as of the size and scale of the YouTube channel that you're about to watch this video of, right? So we haven't made it, you know, we definitely don't have 1 million subscribers, we're definitely not making a gajillion dollars per video, but we've made it kind of far over the past 4 years. So if you haven't met us before, I'm Josh, this is Lisa. We have been making travel YouTube videos for the past 4 years. We made it far enough that it can now pay for our living expenses, and that's pretty cool.
American health insurance.
And American health insurance. This just happened like a month ago. Right now we're in London, and we're about to start filming our 3 days in London on a budget video, which is a part of a larger series that we call 3 Days in X, and it's kind of our format where we show exactly what it would be like for the normal person who's going to a city or place for the first time, like what they would do and how they would approach it if they didn't have unlimited money. And our plan throughout this video is to show you every single thing that we do in as much detail as we possibly can of how we make these travel videos. Lisa's now trying to collect footage of a leaf falling to back up my claim that it's fall.
So many.
All of the gear that we use, how we approach filming it, how we think about the story, why we even picked London to film in the first place.
Have you ever seen such a wow?
If we make money off of any of these videos, which sometimes we do and sometimes we definitely do not. All the post-production, double-decker London buses flying by, all the actual out and filming, which is what we're about to go do, and the whole thing. Let's get going. Okay, so we're starting our video on the way to Hyde Park. I think we're gonna maybe try to intro this video by riding a bicycle around Hyde Park. That seems fun. More than likely we're gonna record this entire YouTube style intro on the back of this bicycle and then just end up throwing the entire thing away.
Doing voiceover.
Just doing voiceover with a montage like we always do. But I always feel like we need to have this I don't know, this YouTube-ish intro to make it work. So we're almost there. We just gotta find a bike. Our plan is to go to. We're gonna go to Palace Gate. Go up to here, turn here, go all the way down Mount Gate, up Carriage Drive, and then probably down Serpentine, and then just drop them off somewhere over here.
Because Buckingham's over here.
Buckingham's down here.
Let's see. Select one rider.
Have you figured out how to do it yet? I haven't figured it out yet. Is there a QR code to scan? It's a card. Please don't time out. Okay. There we go.
Scrap that.
Okay, so we tried figuring out the bike hire app, but it just won't take our credit cards, neither will the machines. We could try the Uber thing, but it's 3 blocks. We just don't have time. So we gotta take a bus, I think, to go to Buckingham Palace because changing the guard happens at 10:45, which is a half hour from now. So off to a not great start. I think we're gonna take a bus to go straight down there, right? Is that the plan?
And it's a double-decker bus. That's pretty exciting.
Okay, so we're in the bus heading. Buckingham Palace to catch us changing the guards. Moving in, presumably to Buckingham Palace. Yeah. We haven't done an equipment check yet.
What?
Have we done a sound check?
Tap, tap.
Testing.
Yep. It's working.
Yeah, you got
Tap,
sound?
tap.
We have literally 0 seconds of our video filmed right now, and
Despite all the footage.
despite all of everything that we've done, we have not actually gotten any into our London video yet, but we're hopeful we're gonna start that process soon. I said,
You just gotta trust the process.
Trust the process.
I feel good.
Yeah, even after this is our 380th video, after 380 times, this first hour still feels every time like we've never made one of these things before, and we have no idea what we're doing. And that's the phase that we're in right now. But hopefully soon it'll start feeling good. Lisa's now trying to collect footage of a leaf falling to back up my claim that it's fall.
There's so many falling.
All right, there's a big crowd gathering out there, so I think it's about time. We're gonna frickin' miss it.
Hear music. It's happening.
Where'd you go?
Turn this around. It's so busy. Do you see something? What is it? I'm looking at the camera so I can see something.
It's a bunch of guards. They're walking in.
Behold my view.
This is not obviously ideal, but I think this is a fairly accurate representation of what a person's trip here would be like. My arms are so tired.
Thank you for doing all of that.
Okay, so I think probably we've got like 20 minutes of footage, which is way too much because it's probably going to be maybe the first like 10 seconds of this movie is in the can, like maybe. Okay, Lisa's trying to find this like right shot. We're always looking for symmetry in the shots that we're trying to take. So this one, hopefully right down the middle. Okay, well that was fun. So now we are going to go and record just a little short piece to camera, kind of explaining what we're doing here, like going over the game plan. Lisa absolutely hates talking to a camera in a crowd. So probably this next job is gonna be mine. We just gotta get out of here first. There she goes. Come back. Okay, so now we're gonna try to deliver like first long piece to camera. So this is just the intro context part of like, what are we doing for the next 3 days? Why are we doing it? Lisa Mar's dying inside because we're talking to a camera in public and it's their worst nightmare.
I'm gonna get this shot of this butt.
She's gonna get this butt shot and pretend like she doesn't know me. Because one thing that I really struggle with a lot is not putting on that like YouTuber voice. You know, like every YouTuber has this, what they go like, "Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're gonna go." And I feel like maybe tone that down. And I just have to find my wife. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Take one. Here we go. Here we go. What's up, everybody? No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. So the game plan for this video. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. The game plan is day one is going to be like all things British. We're going to see the big stuff, the Big Bens, the Hyde Park. We just saw the changing of the guards. London is a level 3 budget place, which means we're at $150 per day here. This is one of the more expensive times of year to come right now, so hopefully we're going to be able to stick to that. I'm not 100% sure, but right now we are hungry. We're going to go find some Greg's, which is the perfect walking around sightseeing food, and we're going to go see all the fun stuff that's right around Piccadilly Circus, all the way down to Westminster, all the way across the bridge. It's going to be so great. I'm almost getting into the YouTuber voice. Okay, let's go. Whew, okay, well that was a lot of words, so I only get one try at that, so hopefully that's just going to have to do. Now we're working our way. We're going to find some food because neither of us have eaten yet, and then we're going to, I guess, just do a bunch of sightseeing. And I think this whole part's going to turn into like mostly a sightseeing montage with a couple of reactions in between it. So we're just taking as much B-roll as we can find. Those do look good.
Look at that footage. Sausage, flakiness. Look at that. 4K footage. Christmas market, Glühwein time.
Okay, so we do actually write out like a full-on game plan for every single day while we're making these videos. Like we write out exactly the order of which thing we want to do next, but sometimes a happy accident happens. Like this thing right here, there's a Christmas market that we didn't know about. We might as well stop it. We try not to stick too tightly to our game plan, because especially when you're making travel videos, like any game plan that you have is going to get screwed up basically immediately, just like ours did today. So you just got to roll with it a little bit. Plus, I mean, God, who doesn't want to see a Christmas market?
Is it for you to or something?
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Another huge Christmas market right in Trafalgar Square. I think I'm starting to really understand why this is such a popular time to come here. There are markets everywhere. Okay, we're just going to quick cross over this bridge to go get a good look at our good friend Ben for a little while.
Transition shot.
Transition shot, here we'll go. Okay, so right now it's just more detail setting, more of the small things, collecting as much footage as we possibly can to get the feeling of this place. Like the boats going by, the sun kind of going past the clouds, the everything that makes this place here, we're trying to collect so that way we have enough footage when we're in post after we're done filming to be able to add voiceover at the top to be able to tell that more like connected narrative. Because honestly, right now, like in the process, I'm not 100% sure what the story or narrative is yet. I mean, we haven't experienced the place yet. We're just trying to give ourselves enough B-roll to work with to be able to write kind of any story that we think of along the way. So we're overshooting a lot.
We're shooting like directly into the sun, but it's so cool because even though it's just a silhouette and you can't see any colors, the Big Ben is so iconic. This entire scene is so iconic. One thing.
Okay, now we're gonna try to take a thumbnail for this video. I'm just gonna do it with my phone because we're so backlit, and for some reason this always does better with these super backlit environments than the big camera. Hold on, there we go.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I have no idea if any of those are going to be usable at all. We normally try to think a lot harder about the thumbnail for the video, but we also just try to be opportunistic as we're going around. If we see something nice that maybe we can capture, we just snap, snap, snap. Honestly, usually we just end up taking a screen capture right out of the video when we're done, and we just use that as a thumbnail. Which, to be clear, is not a practice I would recommend. I would definitely recommend spending a lot more time thinking about your thumbnail than we do. And if I did guess as to like the number one reason as to why we're not growing as fast as we want to, it's because we're just terrible at making thumbnails, and they are immensely, stupidly important in YouTube. That's the game, we're just not that good at playing that part of it yet. Okay, so this part of the video happens every single time without fail, is that we always feel insecure that we're not doing enough stuff. So we just end up bolting on more and more and more things. Like, we're only here for one day, right? We only got a layover here, 24 hours-ish. And still we're probably gonna end up doing like 30 to 40 different things just across today, because it's just kind of this non-stop feeling that we have of like we need to make the movie more interesting, do more stuff. And I honestly, I don't know where that ends, or what that ends with. Like, I feel like we could put like 150 scenes in this one-day movie, and then it still wouldn't be enough, you know? It still wouldn't be enough. So, with that in mind, we decided to take the train tube all the way down here to Tower Bridge, because it just feels like if you're coming to London, you just can't miss it. You could also say that about 500 other things. I think a lot of it is just to kind of avoid those comments that we get all the time, which say like, oh my god, I can't believe you missed this, I can't believe you missed that, I can't believe you didn't go to this. I know it shouldn't bother us, but I think us, along with every other creator, the comments do bother you. This is recording me right now as I'm recording myself. It's pretty meta. Time to get out the big guns. How's that?
That looks pretty good. It's still gloomy outside, though.
I know, it can't help the weather. It can do a lot, though.
That looks clean. It was right there. No. What do you do?
We're trying to take a thumbnail
It's going really well.
that looks like we didn't plan it.
But our thumbnails, I don't know if people like to see our faces for some reason.
Yeah, they like them like this, and then like, but that's not, you know. So we're more like.
I think this is, yeah, there's too much space.
I don't know how to do it.
Also throw in.
We don't know how to take good thumbnails.
Great. Natural.
You hungry for some Indian food, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Right down here, I think. Oh, it's so freaky. Oh my god. This smells amazing. Chicken tikka masala.
How much was it?
13 pounds for all this, with also the naan and the chutney. So there is something that we haven't talked about yet, which is like, why London? Why are we filming here?
Because normally we're in Japan. Any chance that we can
Right.
or
We should
Asia.
talk about that. Why are we filming London? Why are we filming London in December, most importantly? And from a bigger picture perspective, what are we trying to do? First part of that question, why London?
Because it's expensive.
It is extremely expensive to be here. It's really, really hard for us to get here. And filming here is part of an experiment that we're running. Do our viewers care at all about Europe?
And we know London is just a very big city, but in a very big continent of all of Europe. Obviously, it's not representative of even the UK, but it's our re-entry into European land.
Yeah, exactly. Because we have made so many videos across Asia, because for the simple reason we live in the middle of the Pacific.
And we love it.
And we love it.
And it's affordable.
It's affordable. There's tons of reasons why we love doing it, but primarily it's just, it takes us about 20 hours to fly from where we live in Hawaii to here, to London, where we are now, and it takes about 6.5 to fly from Hawaii to Japan. And we just like filming in Japan better. Listen, there's a lot of things that go into this. One of the biggest ones is that generally, when we're filming here in Europe, we get a lot of attention. A lot of attention.
Which is what I'm trying to avoid right now.
It's killing her right now. I think I deal with it a little bit better. I just ignore it a little better than maybe you do, but...
in Asia, it's almost seen as more fun to be a vlogger. People love when they find out that we make YouTube videos. I feel like people love it and they enjoy it and they think it's super cool and they wish they were doing it. Versus, I think in Western countries, it almost feels like a joke.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of eye rolling that we witness
I totally get.
tangentially as around us as we're filming. So this is an experiment. Any of you out there who are watching, who, you know, maybe you're just into this video, but if you're watching any of our travel videos, do you want us to make stuff in Europe? That's the question that we're trying to answer.
It's a test, but it's also a fun test, and we love it here. And it's Christmas time, so we were really excited about coming to see and experience the Christmas market.
Yes.
The Christmas market's here. It's extremely beautiful, and it's pretty easy to get by, and we're testing out to see if our audience is interested in it.
Yeah, exactly. All of those things. I think if I had to be like Nostradamus and guess whether or not this video is going to do well, I would think it would.
We're gonna see how it goes.
But I don't think this video is going to do well. But we're still going to make it anyway. It's still a lot of fun doing it. And maybe we're going to go get a drink soon. Okay, so now we are off to the British Museum. Now we don't generally, in fact, almost ever go to museums in these trips. We really like museums. They just kind of make for really boring YouTube videos, and it's just not as much fun for us to like show you cool art that you should just come and see for yourself. You just kind of like dampens the experience a little bit. And also it's super uncomfortable filming inside of a museum generally. But we do have a brand deal, and we're not sure if they're going to approve this concept or not, but we're going to film it anyway just in case they do. We're going to like transition into the integration through the actual physical Rosetta Stone, which is in the British Museum right here. We're going to see how it turns out and if they even approve it, but I think it's a pretty cool idea. And it gives us a good reason to go on into a museum, which we don't often get to do. And this is a really good one, and there's so many good free ones here in London. It's just stock full of them, so okay, enough talking.
That's so cool.
Nice to get out of the rain.
Beautiful. I would spend days here if I could.
We are moving really fast today. This is not our usual pace for our videos, especially not for our longer ones, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So if the daytimes are for sightseeing in this video, then the night times are for heading to all those Christmas or winter markets, drinking lots and lots of Glühwein. So that's definitely what we're going to be doing. Alright, hop on up. Everybody else.
Wait for the next one?
No. 7 minutes, 8 minutes. It'll be just as busy. Okay, made it up. We are heading off to the Hyde Park Winter Wonderland to put a nice bow on this whole thing that we've been doing today. Seems to be the biggest Christmas market in all of London.
It's £10 per person.
Something like that to get in, but hopefully it's really cool.
Yeah, I love a good double-decker bus.
Yeah, this is pretty fun.
Here.
Let's go. Whoa, that looks cool. Right side, maybe. I don't know.
That's cool. There's like a luge thing.
Wow.
There he is. I was recording, you recording. We finished the video!
That's a wrap, baby. That's a wrap. I think that's everything. We're just gonna go eat some kebab to celebrate, which is what we normally do when we finish a video. And then we just gotta get home, start post-production. All right.
Okay, it's a wrap.
Look at this kebab dough.
Oh, yay. I'm so tired.
Good morning. It's December 9th, 2024. I don't know why I'm whispering actually. Josh is awake, I'm awake. Today begins post-production, which is absolutely my favorite part of the entire process. Editing, doing voiceover, putting this whole filming trip together into one beautiful, hopefully funny package on YouTube. First, coffee. Whew, that was dumb. Okay, now you can see why this is one of my favorite times of this YouTube channel, is just getting into the zone and feeling all the good vibes as we get this video started. My first step in all of this is really just to scour our footage. It's 136 gigs. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, every single piece of footage from the Sony camera, every single piece of footage from the DJI Osmo Pocket that we have, iPhones if we use our iPhones, screen recordings if we've taken any, all of it, and add it to a basic timeline in Final Cut Pro, which is the editing software that I use, which sounds simpler than it actually is when I say it out loud. I feel like, man, that should only take one day, especially for this one day in London video, but I predict actually this is gonna take me anywhere from 1 to 3 days. I feel kind of obsessive about going through every single shot. And with that, when I'm editing in this first pass, I do a little bit of slight, like basic editing to see even if a shot is worth keeping. Because sometimes you see a shot and you're like, there's nothing special about it. But if you like punch in, or if you change the color just a little bit, or you change the focus to one specific thing versus this wider shot, it changes everything. So on top of not filming chronologically and kind of putting the pieces all together and make it more chronologically seeming, part of my job is also in this first pass to look at the specific clips and make sure that those clips pass the check with the vibe or the scene that we're currently working with.
We're gonna freaking miss it.
How does this piece of footage fit or not into the actual overall feeling of the story? Hear music. It's happening. So in Buckingham Palace, we were rushing, we were excited, we just got to London and we're like trying to go catch this very iconic thing that a lot of tourists probably will want to go see when they get to London. And so I'm trying to set the stage and keep it real. Like, this is the actual experience that you're gonna get. So with that, I'm looking for pieces of footage that are chaotic, energetic, show a lot of movement, because that's how it felt. Blonde head of hair right there. There's a woman climbing above to try and get a good view. Maybe other people, other creators might choose to punch in because it's not a beautiful shot. It's not symmetrical. There's things getting in the way. But I actually think, for me personally, and the kind of story that we're telling, it makes for a better story because it's honest and it's truthful and it's from the perspective of a tourist visiting. Act 1 is very chaotic, very energetic. Act 2 is a little bit more peaceful, and by the end, when we reach Act 3, where it's nighttime, I want it to feel more peaceful, more slow, drawn out, letting the story breathe a little bit, if that makes sense. Another thing that I'm doing in this first pass is making little notes or markers for myself or for Josh. Some self-deprecating comment about how deep we are. Maybe this joke would land well here, or maybe this is a good voiceover transition.
You don't know why it makes sense, but it just feels right.
It just feels right, and I'm gonna make a note here. In voiceover, you know what else also just feels right? And I'll make a note for Josh for him to look at that and decide how he wants to Joshify it for his voiceover. It can feel like it's a step by step. Honestly, all of this is sometimes just happening all together all the time. Background processing of, finding the right shot. Is this pretty? Is this steady? Is this matching the overall story? Does this logistically make sense? And where does it fit? Taking all the Lego pieces and putting it all together to build an overall structure at this point. Okay, so I think I'm at the end of my first pass. I mean, technically, I've gone through this timeline several times, and part of that is because I'd like to delete things as well before I hand it over to Josh for the voiceover, because I know that he's also going to be like, this is too long. We need to delete this. We need to remove this scene. But I think I've covered my bases. I've looked at all the footage, scoured it, and I think I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited about this video. It feels almost like a mix of what someone would actually do if they had a full day in London, added with the extreme benefit of being there during Christmas time, which is just so much fun. And I'm already starting to envision what kind of music I'd like to add. So for now though, I'm going to copy this timeline, pass it over to Josh, who's going to write his notes and hopefully check all of my notes for his voiceover, and then we're gonna put this in and get it working. This is feeling good. I'm feeling excited. Okay.
Now you're stuck with me. Okay, so now that we have the first pass of the video and the rough cut, I'm gonna start thinking about like the overall story arc here and start looking for the gaps in this cut that need a little bit of voiceover to patch them up, right? We got to keep this video moving, we got to keep the momentum going through the story, and we got to keep things interesting. So the thing that I get from Lisa here is honestly probably where most people would just say it's good, say the it's good. I mean, that's how good this rough cut is that she hands me. They just slap some music on it, call it a day. But we like to torture ourselves for a few extra days, weeks. I mean, sometimes, okay, I get it. Yes, it takes us forever to put these things out. Okay, yes. Yeah, it really does. We're sorry. But still, for as good as it is, we've learned to not take this first cut to heart. This video can feel flat and boring and way too long and without any structure because it doesn't have any.
It's just beautiful. It's a little cold, but wow.
It's also December.
It's also...
Okay, so I refuse to start a movie of ours with just looking at some trees and saying they're pretty. So I don't think we need to, there needs to be some momentum to the beginning to transition us from the intro right into the middle of it, and we just haven't found it yet. So the way I do this is just by watching the thing from left
to write from the start to the end. Well, finding the parts that need to be cut or shortened, explain more, and then we, go back and forth and argue about removing stuff we love because Lisa hates throwing out footage, or we start adding in jokes because things are getting too serious in the movie. And I'd show you all this, but I can't imagine anything in the world more boring than watching a person write, and that's what most of this is. Everyone, you can tell that all the guards have done this 1,000 times. So, we're just gonna speedrun this thing. So, keep watching through, keep typing, keep thinking through different stories. Okay, now we just need to record some things. Bring up my notes, and this big old thing. It's time to record. To our surprise and delight, the band started... Delight? It sounds so cheesy. Okay, try again. To our surprise, the band started playing the theme to Indiana Jones. So, right, as I'm delivering this, I'm hamming it up a little bit. There's something about the delivery to voiceover that you really have to, over-accentuate to get the feeling through, or at least I feel that way, where if I just said this the way I talk to you, which is this happens 4 times per week, right at 10:45 a.m. on the dot at the front gates, there's that when you record it and it comes across into the video feels super flat. So I'm kind of overdoing it a little bit in the hopes that that won't be the case. And then the hardest part, the endings and the intros. They're the hardest. There's no escaping it. The intro is by far the most important part of the movie, and we like to leave it until we are the most comfortable with the movie, which is normally right before the end, right the last thing that we do. But the ending, I don't know. There's really only one way to solve this problem. Yes, this is literally what I have to do. ADHD do be like that. I just have to sit and stare at a white wall. And I write that idea down, realize it's terrible, erase the entire thing, back to the wall again. We want it to be romantic towards the city, loving towards the city, but without being cheesy. Short, to the point, not belaboring it. End the video before the viewer expects it. Just gotta land the plane. London, thanks for an incredible 24 hours. We'll see you soon. Alright, so now that all the voiceover is recorded, it's on the timeline, next up is music. But first, a quick word about the gear we use. It wasn't me. Okay, I'm gonna make this brief just in case you don't care. So, Sony a7 IV, this is our main camera. We shoot everything in 4K. It's got really good autofocus. It was reasonably priced as far as really big cameras go. You don't need a big camera to start a YouTube channel. We filmed our first 200 videos on just our phones. The phones have gotten way better since then. 24-105 lens on here with optical steady shot on the side. We leave basically all of our settings on auto except for the shutter speed, which is just twice what we're filming at. So if we're filming at 24 frames per second, the closest we can get is 1/50. Microphone on top. MKE 400. We chose this microphone primarily because it doesn't scare people as much as this giant phallic microphone did, right? Much smaller, much nicer. We make most of our gear decisions now on just trying to remain as invisible as we can while we're filming. DJI Osmo Action 4. This is just better than any GoPro that we've ever used. So just in every way, the footage looks better. And it's nicer, and it's invincible. This is our little action cam that we take with us when we go swimming or do anything else. It sticks to stuff. Wow. Tripod. We bring it on every trip, but we never use it. We just don't have time to set up a tripod, and generally, in all these cities that we go to, setting up a tripod and just leaving it somewhere is just asking for somebody to steal it. Alright. Brand new to us is this thing that we're filming on, which is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Tiny camera, we use it primarily for talking shots, like when we're talking to the camera, because it's better than this vibe of holding up this giant camera and talking to it, because this attracts way too much attention and makes you look just more than a little bit crazy and egotistical. ND filter. This thing screws onto the front of this big camera, which then it's like sunglasses for the camera. If it's super bright out and you kind of getting blown out shots, too overexposed, this thing helps solve that. And a bajillion SD cards. This is just part of the collection. We also have more here. Power bank. Bring this with us every single place that we go. Just helps us charge our
extra camera batteries that are somewhere. Camera batteries that we always have, 3 total camera batteries has been enough for us for a full day of shooting. About 5 of these external hard drives, 2 terabytes each. And then we also have a Synology network attached storage that lives here that houses footage for every single thing that we've ever shot, ever. I think that's it for the gear. Oh yeah, drones. We just don't use them anymore. They're a total menace to society at this point, and they are everywhere, and we have decided that we don't want to fly them. The rules are very complicated, and it makes people feel like they're just being attacked by an angry swarm of bees while they're out trying to enjoy their nice vacation. That's not us. So if you ever see any drone footage in our videos, which does come across occasionally, that's just from story blocks. We just buy that stock footage and then put it in our video. I think that's it. We carry it all in our Cotopaxi 35 or 28 liter backpacks, or now we also have a suitcase that we have affectionately called Mr. Bucket. Okay, back to it. Oh yeah, I forgot. We also use MacBook Pros to edit on, and we use Final Cut Pro as our editing software. Cool.
My pass again. Okay, I'm really excited about this pass. So this pass is music / voiceover, fitting / adjusting the surrounding audio, little bits and bobs. It's where the video really starts to come together.
Well, we've been here for like 3 minutes and we haven't gone to a Christmas market yet, so Christmas market.
It's what we call the music pass, because that's like the biggest difference that's happening in this timeline, but there's a lot of little bits and bobs that are happening. Usually this is a collaborative effort, the music part. Josh will oftentimes curate a long list of potential songs that will fit certain scenes, especially for our longer videos like 13 Days in Iceland. So we'll kind of tackle that together. But for this one, I think because it's shorter than our usual videos, I have a pretty good feeling of the vibes and the music the kind of music that I want to use. I think I'm just going to tackle this part on my own. So I'm just going to be scouring Epidemic Sounds, which is the site that we use and we pay a subscription for to go through all of these incredible different genres of songs. This process in total will probably take me a full day, if not longer. On top of this, I'm also looking for not just songs, but sound effects.
Red double-decker bus to the rescue. People holding the cameras way over their heads like this bozo.
I like to think of each scene as its own song, essentially, its own feeling, its own vibe. Gone are the days where we used to use lo-fi tropical house across the entire timeline. It's so much more fun to look at each specific scene with a specific emotion, a specific feeling, a specific vibe. So for Camden Town, it's an incredibly cool, hip, eccentric place. And there were a lot of locals playing hip-hop music. So I'm gonna be looking for old school hip-hop. My general approach is kind of following that 3-act narrative, right? The first act is very fun, very chaotic. We tend to use a lot of sneaky music.
See that girl doing the handstands?
Yeah. Also, what did he say about her? We like that exploratory aspect of traveling, and we find ourselves in a lot of those situations sometimes.
Behold, the royal band and...
comedic kind of music.
You know what else just feels right? Falling out of control.
And then as we get towards Act 2, we're getting into a rhythm of our sightseeing and we're getting to see all these cool British London sights. It'll play into that. And by the end, when we get to Act 3, where we've had a full day, it's nighttime, things are slowing down, starting to feel a little bit sad because we know we're leaving soon, the music will also reflect that. I've also learned now in the last few years to really just allow the place to shine in its music too. One of the best parts about traveling and making these YouTube videos is actually the different kinds of music that we learn about along the way. Songs that people are playing in the background, musicians actually on the streets playing songs. So it just happens that sometimes we're in a place and I get to hear what the locals are listening to, and that's my inspiration. All of this is really important for me to retain in these videos as long as we don't get copyright strike. I think actually, even though music is one of the most important parts of a movie, any movie, like the scoring, sometimes the absence of music is equally as important. Also, by the way, it made me so happy to be traveling in the UK and hear both Adele and Ed Sheeran on the radio. From maybe the outsider perspective, it might seem obvious that that's something that the English would listen to, but I don't know. There's a part of me that like wondered if people in England were tired of hearing Adele or Ed Sheeran, and I never get tired of listening to Ed Sheeran and Adele, so it made me really happy to hear it on the radio. That's all.
You know, this video is kind of starting to feel like an actual friggin' video at this point. This is a good part of the process. This is when things really start to come together. When we don't have to look at the entirety of the video from left to right and look at every single bit and where everything's wrong. There are just a few spots that we need to identify and then just fix those up. And that's it. Sometimes you gotta do a lot of stuff. Like in this one, we had to rework most of the voiceover. I think basically all of it. Here's what that gets you in London these days. It's not a lot. Days.
Okay, so we'll put that there.
We had to fix some scenes to move around the general vibe of the thing, delete some entire scenes, add some scenes back in. There's no shortcut to this part, it just takes as long as it takes. You just keep going over and over and over, watching the video, identifying those little parts in it that just don't feel right, fixing them up, watch it again.
Yet so. Christmas market. New Christmas market yet so. Christmas market.
And it's like the tiniest little adjustments that end up fixing something. We're talking like moving a thing 2 frames this way, or maybe this thing is like a little too loud, so we move it down 2 dB. It's always the little stuff. This entire part is just about kind of stepping into the shoes of the viewer as best we can, trying to figure out when they'd get bored, when they'd start checking out, when they'd have no idea what we're doing or what we're talking about, when they need more context, or when they just need less context and us to shut the heck up and just show them all the fun stuff.
We quick bought our tickets on our phones, walked in, and whoa! Christmas explosion! Christmas explosion!
The best way I can describe this part of the process is we're trying to like make a really nice gift for someone. You know when it's like holidays time and you gotta pick out a gift for somebody that's really hard to buy for, and you think really hard like, okay, this person's into anime and they're into the video games. Try to be really thoughtful about what they have or what they don't have, or what they're interested in or what they're not interested in there, what's cool this year versus what's not cool. It's all those thoughts, but just in movie making terms. We're just trying to make a really good gift for you. Okay, so we're about to start filming the rest of our Rosetta Stone integration. I unfortunately got just a giant zit right here on my face, so makeup department here is gonna help me out.
Makeup and HR.
Okay, you ready?
Okay, hold on.
It's a little bit loud where we live.
No, I can't hear the radio. She's hoovering.
Okay, done.
Great, okay. And then do the, now I can.
Okay, try it again. Hold on. Alright.
And now I can take on the British accent I've always wanted.
So if you're interested, or if you happen to know somebody out there who would appreciate this as a gift, just go ahead and check out the link down in the description below.
Okay.
Alright, just throw that together, send it off to the brand to see if they approve it. Gotta make all the money animations that go in the bottom left corner. I don't know, that'll take about an hour. That's the last thing, right? Like, there's nothing else. There's nothing else? We need a thumbnail. How do we always forget this? We need a thumbnail. We need a thumbnail.
Every single time we forget this. Ugh. God, I hate making thumbnails. No. Okay, quick, go through all the photos we took. I mean, I guess that one could work. It's kind of nice. Just gotta watch the whole video, see if we can pull out a screen grab from the thing. Okay. Put them into Lightroom. Make a basic composition out of this one. I'll toss that one, that's terrible. Maybe? It's just, no, there's nothing to it. Okay, so we're down to these like 3 final ones here. If we just move that little part around, right there. Put some text over here. I don't know, correct the color of that part, make it brighter. Try to separate us from the background more with a little focus. It's not bad. Could work, I guess. I'll have to do. Yeah, please, if anybody out there knows how to actually make really good thumbnails for YouTube, just... we've got money for you. Hit that little email thing on our... just, we need help. We need help with this. Ugh. Okay, the time has come. Time has come to face the demon. That is the intro. There's nothing left to do in this video. Everything else is done. We just need to figure out the intro. This is like a perfectionist nightmare, right? It's the most important part of the video. You only get like maybe 20 to 30 seconds to get the viewer's attention and convince them that they shouldn't click on the other like 92 videos that are on the right side of their screen. And there's no right answer. There's no right answer, right? You're trying to come up with the best thing just out of nothing. I just had a thought. Didn't we have that that throwaway footage at the end of that Christmas tree lighting up?
What do you think's going on here? There's a lot of people. Do you think I'm gonna light the tree for the first time? That'd be so cool.
Just gotta build it, and then just like make it as perfect as we can, find the perfect song to kick this thing off. Yeah, we're doing another montage, but it's like, it sets the tone that it's Christmas, which is exactly what we want. We want to tell people that we're in London, we want to tell people that we're kind of cheap, so we gotta put all those elements into this one thing. Okay.
Less PBS.
Yeah.
More Lisa and Josh.
Snuggie. Okay, Lisa took a pass at this thing, made it better, like she always does. I think we got it. You want to watch it? Let's check out the intro.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on, you didn't think that we were gonna come all the way to London and not make a Christmas video, did you? Ho ho ho!
Jingle them bells and frolic. Oh, by gosh, some stolly. Eggnog, gin and tonic make Yuletide gay and jolly. Same procedure every year. I just can't get enough.
So we've got 24 hours here, $150 for the 2 of us, and so many fun London things to do, Christmas adjacent or not.
Okay, we gotta ship this thing. It's time. I mean, that's... Okay, I gotta level all the audio. I totally forgot to do that. This is probably gonna take 3 more hours. I just have to move things up and down 1 dB here, down to... It just makes it sound good no matter what thing you're listening to it on, so... Okay, that's done. Okay, so we're about to record the last voiceover. Oh, this is... Alright, I'm ready.
Well, you can make it a standing desk.
Okay.
Are you sure it's going to sound the same?
Let's find out. This is it. This is the last piece. Everything else is done.
Knock on wood. I can't believe how long this is.
Everything else is done. I mean, unless we got to redo the integration, but...
Ready?
Yep, where's my lines? So we've got 24 hours here, $150 for the 2 of us, and so many fun London things to do, Christmas adjacent or not.
Great. One take wonder.
Wow, wow, wow.
So we've got 24 hours here, $150 for the 2 of us, and so many fun London things to do, Christmas adjacent or not.
Okay, we're... Okay.
That's a wrap, baby. That's a wrap. Ship it. Exporticus Maximus. 20 minutes to render. I just gotta upload it.